Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking on some things you shouldn't do in Ghana, the do's and don'ts, as in the don'ts, just basically the don'ts you shouldn't do, the things you shouldn't do in Ghana. Now, I've stayed in Ghana and my stay in Ghana has been wonderful, and I've observed Ghanaians, and so the things you should not do while you are in Ghana, or like as a foreigner in Ghana, things you shouldn't do. Staying in Ghana has taught me so many things, and I've been learning as in I've learned from them, and I've been putting some of the things in practice. So don't one thing you shouldn't do in Ghana is don't fight in public. Do not fight in public. You regret ever fighting in public because it is not their thing, it is not their way of life. And you coming down to Ghana and fighting, they'll see you as someone who is not well trained, or who is not cultured. They find it strange seeing someone fighting in public. Another thing again is don't argue with elders. Don't argue with elders. Once an elderly person is talking to you, you keep quiet and listen. Don't argue with them. They don't like that. It's like a turn off for them. Once you do that with a Ghanaian, they will just don't like it. They wouldn't like anything about you again. You begin to have problems with them, because I've stayed with a Ghanaian, as in I've lived in a Ghanaian house whereby an elderly lady, maybe since she asked me to do something, I was like, to me it wasn't right to do it at that period. I was like trying to argue with her. She was like, you don't argue with me. Say, turn up, don't argue with me, just do what I ask you to do. So like, is this the way they do here? I find it strange. It was very, very difficult to adapt. Not that I was disrespectful. No, I wasn't disrespectful, but what she was saying wasn't going well with me. Everybody with their culture, with the way they reason, with the way they've been brought up. But she was trying to impose it on me that this, don't do this is that. I was like, it's world. You don't tell me what to do here. So she was like, I shouldn't argue with her. I was like, oh, sorry, ma. I now have to recollect myself. Someone told me that whenever an elder is talking to you, just listen, don't argue. Because the lady, she's just like a mother to me then. But things she was saying to me, I wasn't really, really finding it friendly, or I wasn't really enjoying it then. But later on, I got to understand her. I took her as a mother, and like a big mother in Ghana. She's a Ghanaian. So I get to understand, and she told me things that I shouldn't do, as a foreigner in the country, things how I shouldn't act. So I have to abide, and since I'm in the country, so I have to adhere to whatever, not the good things, not the bad one. If it is the one I don't really like, I'll tell her, Mama, I don't like this. Mommy, I don't like this. Don't tell me that. And she too, she respects me too. And another thing again, you shouldn't do in Ghana, like roll your eyes for someone like this, or roll your eyes and make like eye gestures. Like we Nigerians were fond of that, like something like that, or you roll your eyes. So then they find this very offensive and insulting. So then they don't like it. So don't do it whenever you get together. Don't do it to anybody, whenever you get together. And another thing again is like thumbs up and down, like telling someone like this. Wow, it's offensive and insulting. It means my mother something. It means you're that like an insult, like my mother that, your mother that, something like that. So don't do this to strangers, or don't do this. Don't just thumbs up and thumbs down in public to someone. They find it insulting, and they it won't get well with you. They won't take that from anyone. As long as you're doing that to them, don't do that to anybody. No. Another thing again is don't beat a child in public. Like for example, I went to the clinic with my son, with my daughter. Then she was sick, so I took her to the clinic. She was just running up and down, disturbing. I have to bring her, and I wiped her bum bum, as in I beat her. I tell her that I beat her so seriously. I just wiped her. People, they were like, but why? Don't beat her, cry, it's bad, don't beat her. They want us to they will call the police on you. Man, it's so serious to the extent that they will call the police on you. So please don't hit a child in public. Don't shout, like scold a child in public. It's like an offense. It's things that you don't do. They find it strange and they may call the police for you immediately because they don't take such. So whenever you get to camera, don't hit a child. Don't hit your child. Don't scold them, like shouting or shouting on top of your voice, telling them, stop it, stop it, this, stop. They don't do that. No, 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 no. They find it so offensive. And I said they will call the police on you whenever you do that. Any child in Ghana. So whenever you visit the clinic or in a public environment, don't hit your child. Don't scold them like with a loud voice, screaming at the top of your voice. No, they don't take that. They take those things very, very serious. Hitting a child is it's like a serious offense to them in Ghana. And another scenario is that when I was in Ghana, my neighbor is a male. So my daughter did something that really provoked me. So I was like, I'm going to beat the hell out of you today. She was begging, mommy, please, mommy, please. I said, no, today is the end for you. I'm going to beat you today. I got so angry. I started beating her. I was just beating her with the cane. I went outside, got a cane. As I was coming in, the owner of the house was like, where are you taking that cane to? I said, like, nothing, ma. I went inside. I started beating her. My neighbor overheard me. He came banging at my door. Hello, mommy Monica. Mommy Monica. I was like, what is it? I opened it. What is it? Don't beat the child. I'm going to call the police on you. Like, police? Beating my own child? You call the police on me for beating my own child? She said, yes, don't beat that girl. He's going to call the police on me. I have to maintain my cool. Like, this guy is really, really serious. I was like, so after all, I had to meet a Ghanaian friend of mine. I asked her. She said, don't beat a child here in Ghana. You scold them like friendly way. You don't just beat and beat and beat. You scold them. No wonder I hardly see people beating their child. You see a child of 4 years, the parents still backs the child to the hospital. And we Nigerians will find that strange because a child of 4 years is meant to be in school, but to them a child of 3 years is not meant to be in school. They are meant to be pampered and nurtured. They are still kids to them. They are still a baby to them. So, and me taking the child, and then my daughter was I think 3 years. Me taking her to the hospital and scolding and whipping her bum. It was strange to them. They were like, don't beat this guy, I'm going to call the police on you. And my other daughter was then she was I think 8 years, and me beating her in the house. The man find it strange that this girl is still a child, that I'm not meant to beat her. But to me, Nigeria, where I come from, we beat scrap. So we beat, and just like beating to us like a correction to us in Nigeria. So these are the things you don't do when you get to Ghana. Don't insult the elders. Don't do like this, like thumbs up and down. Don't roll your eyes and do like some eye gestures. No, don't argue with elders. Don't fight in public. And the last, okay, I said it. Okay, no, don't beat a child or scold a child in public. It's an offense. It's like an offense to them. Don't do those things in Ghana. I hope I'm communicating. I hope I'm getting it right. If I'm not getting it right, please drop your comments below the comment section and tell me what you think. If I'm right or not. The things I didn't mention, you can mention everything below the comment section. Let's interact as one big family. Hopefully, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.